talk about how to deploy a Spring Boot web application with Docker. Um, so first of all, um, everything that is going to be in today's video is recorded already on my website. So you can navigate to this document from home, from this website, kevinlee-webertech.github.io. You go to home and blog, go to courses, DevOps, Docker, and Labs, and you will find Spring Boot deployment, app deployment. So in this video, I'm going to give you a brief introduction of Spring Boot. It's basically the most popular Java framework today, um, and it's a commercial grade, enterprise level, um, open source project. So it's used for a lot of um, production grade applications and web services. So there are a lot of Spring Boot tutorials on my website as well. If you would like also to have a systematic study of Spring Boot project, here I have some links in the middle of my page. Springboot.io, this is a official website, and you also have some other third-party websites that will give you a systematic study of Spring Boot. So first of all, if you use Spring Boot, we are going to create a Spring Boot project. There are two ways you can create this project. If you follow one of these tutorials, the first solution is to go to start.spring.io. This is a Kickstarter. You follow the step-by-step visa, fill out some information like the following, and then you are going to create a zip or a project with the following structures. This is a tree view of this project. So this is a Spring Boot Docker demo directory, and then there is a SRC, and there is a main, there is a Java. It's like a Java package. So the Java package looks like this path. And there are, you normally need a very simple some Java files there. So you have a Docker demo application.java, and then you have a hello controller. I'll give you a little idea how that looks like, but we really do not need to focus on understanding this code or how to write this. So this is the hello controller, for instance, for this. And a Docker demo, it's entry function or class of this whole application, which contains the main function in there in this Docker demo application. So in this controller, you have two entry point, two mapping. One is called /health, and the other is mapped to the root. And it's simply just printing a string on your web page, okay? And for health, it's also printing a string. So that's for the simplicity of this project. In this video, I am going to show you the second way, because this project has been already committed to sprint guides. So we already have that, so I do not want to manually create a project. So first thing first, let me try to create this project for you. So let's get here. Make sure that I'm in my I'm in a project, and then I already have a GS Spring Boot, so I'm gonna get rid of that. Okay, and now I'm gonna get git clone, and I check out this project. The next thing is to actually run this project in using Maven, using a native a Java way. So far we haven't been dealing with Docker yet, so we're gonna get this GS. This is the project we just check out. So we're gonna get into this project, and look, we have an initial folder directory there. That is almost like empty. And if you follow their step-by-step tutorial, you're going to drop and manually create a couple of Java files. But once you are done with this initial directory, um, the end product is going to be in this complete directory. So to me, the complete directory is what I want. So I get here, and this is actually the root of your project. Okay, so if you give a tree command, you there is no tree command. So if you give a tree view, then you're going to see the Java codes are actually inside of these um, source directory. See, you're going to see there are a lot of Java files, right? And this is a test file. So next thing is that without Docker, let's just run this Spring Boot project so you will get an idea how it looks like. This process, let me try to explain a little bit. This process is trying to download a whole bunch of dependencies, jar files. And now you see that green icon like this. That looks like the Spring Boot application has been run successfully. And the program, what it does actually is um, to loop and print out all the the class, the Spring framework, Spring Boot framework classes, um, and just list them out. And at the meantime, we can go to use a curl command if you have it. This is one way you can check and test uh, the your API, but let's see if this is going to work. You need a second terminal. The reason I need it is because this project was run and it's holding up this terminal process. So I need another terminal to actually run this. And you can see the greetings from Spring Boot is working. That means it's working fine. And you can see the log right here is printed out while I hit this. Now let's try these endpoints. So those two are two endpoints. You can see that this is working. This is working. And these two endpoints is HTTP GET. So we are able to get it from here. Spring Boot is working. And let's copy the second one. And let's copy the second one. And now you can see it's working, right? Let's use a print pretty. This is HTTP GET. You can directly hit the URL in the browser. If it's HTTP GET post, HTTP post, you need to use some other software like this Postman to help you to test this API. So far, we have gotten this to work. So let's do Control C to actually terminate this process, and then no surprise, this should not work. All right. Now let's get back to my website. So far, everything so far so good. Next step is that let's check. I'm in here and I want to create a Docker file. In our previous video, we learned how to write a Docker file with how to deploy a Python Flask web project, and this is extremely similar. This is extremely similar, and we need this file created, right? We need this file created. This pound sign is actually the comments. So it's a little different than the Python deployment because we actually use two layers, two images. So you see there is a from. So that image actually gets you the Maven executable. And then we set the working directory to /app, and then we copy the POM, which is the Spring Boot configuration file, to slash app, and then we download dependencies, go offline. You see this run um, process to run a Maven dependencies. This is going to leverage Docker Cache, download all the dependencies that you see. The third one is actually the real essential part, is trying to run a process of Maven. Maven does a clean and package and skip all the tests. Now here it comes the important part. We grab a second image, and in this image we have a JRE 17, which is Java. So in other words, the first base image, it might not have a Java. The second one has Java. So we have two layers. We have this layer of image included. So we create another runtime image. You see this stage 2 has this comments, right? And then we set this slash app. So how to understand this image plus this image is that it actually combines. It actually condenses two images into one, which is going to build our own image out of this Docker file. And it will guarantee you that we will have Maven, both Maven and JRE 17, all right? And then after we have that, we set the work directory to slash app, and we copy everything else. No, we actually copy the jar that we built to where to the working directory. So they're going to be a jar app.jar inside of this slash app, okay? And then we expose 8080. That's the Linux container that is going to listen on 8080. The last step is how we run executable jar in Java. This is really the native way that we concatenate these three parts together with white spaces. So that is going to work. So let's save this file and quickly create another Docker ignore file. This file is the is going to get rid of this Docker file as well. So that means when you build a container, it will use Dockerfile as the instruction, but it does not want to include the Dockerfile inside of it. I think in our Python server deployment video, we also talk about that. You also see Dockerfile is actually inside of this Docker ignore file. And then next step is going to for us to run this. We are already there, right? So we're going to copy this line and just build it. Okay. I think I copied it, and then it's going to take a little bit time. This is beautiful. Everything's working as expected. And you can see the builder stage 4 out of 6, stage 1, and this kind of thing. This is the grid lines are actually downloading the dependencies, which is this line 4 of 6 out of 6 total instructions, right? So we're doing that, and once we have this container built, this image built, we're going to run it. We give it a name called Springboot App, and we tag it with 1.0. The whole name plus the colon tag is the complete name of this image. So we're going to run this Docker in a detached mode with the P mapping of ports, internal 8080 map to my external host operating system 8080, and with a name called Springboot container, so to distinguish with the image name. So let's do this line. Let's copy and paste it here. So if you follow my instructions on my webpage, it should go very smoothly, I'll say. So let's do a Docker PS. This step is to test the application. Let's do that. This is running. And you can also do Docker container ls. It's also running. It's the same, almost similar. And Docker logs Springboot container. And you can see, well, it's working, right? This is goes to the standard output, And again, you can do this curl, and if no surprise, it's going to work, right? This is greeting from Spring Boot. It's working as expected. And do this curl, and it should work. There it is. Oh, no, actually, I believe the URL is a little different. How we do that? No, it's up. Actuator. It's actuator. So I think there is a little typo in there, so it should be this. Let me just clear the screen, and you do that, and then it's actually working, perfectly. So there is a little flaw on my web page. This endpoint is wrong. I'll skip the Docker Compose as of now. uh, I think this is good enough for you to have a general idea of how to deploy a Spring Boot project with Docker. And this is extremely important because a lot of Fortune 500 companies or any mid-size, a lot of mid-size companies, they are still currently using web apps developed by Spring Boot. And also, Spring Boot has been widely used in a lot of financial institutions, web apps, and then healthcare domains. So let's wrap up here, and then thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in next video.